What's going on, everybody? Toby1 Shinobi here, and today we are showing you one of the biggest secrets in Fortnite Zero Build combat. This is an essential thing to learn if you want to win more engagements and win more games. Now, I'll just go ahead and spoil it right now because I don't want to waste anyone's time. The secret is playing medium distance from your enemy until you have 100 damage or more. And now when I say medium, I mean a very specific range, which I'll show you in this gameplay. But yeah, basically the rule is do 100 damage to your enemy, don't take any damage yourself, and then close that distance if you need to finish the kill. But do not put yourself at too much risk. I'm going to show you in this gameplay why it's so effective and why it significantly reduces risk. Now, I will state that controller players in general really like to get in people's faces and take close range fights. Nothing against controller players whatsoever. I was a controller player for 20 plus years of my life. I understand controllers very well. I understand how aim assist works. I know that close range fights give the most aim assist. So if you get up in someone's face and you feel like it's easier to hit your shots at that distance and land more damage, you're putting yourself at a massive risk because your enemy can probably land damage as well, just as much damage as you are doing. Even though it feels easy for you, it's also probably pretty easy for your opponent. And if they're on mouse and keyboard, it doesn't matter either way because they're probably going to hit their shots also. What I'm saying is stop getting close range to people unless you've got a massive health advantage or a massive advantage in some way, like breaking their camera, which we'll get into as well. All right, so now we're just going to get into this gameplay. This is a duos game with my wife in a pubs lobby, Yuki Bear. Shout out to Yuki Bear. Please show her some love down in the comments below. So yeah, in this Inside My Mind gameplay here, I'm going to be showing you, give you examples of how to use distance effectively against your opponents, how to break cameras when you need to, and that sort of thing so that you're always in an advantage and you're never taking too much risk. Now, I will note that having things like dashes, bananas, the banana of the gods, flowberries, these are all really, really helpful to keeping that medium distance as long as you know how to use them well. All right, so here we are. We're coming into this drop right here. I'm marking my favorite spot in Grim because it's actually pretty low risk, which again, we'll just kind of keep reiterating. Low risk is very important in a battle royale. You have one life. Do not risk too much. All right, so we're going to drop on this shotgun here because that's going to increase my chances of winning fights at close range, right? Because it's always a scramble, especially at Grim Gate or hot drops. People are going to be dropping in close to you. They're going to have low health. You're going to have low health. If you have a shotgun, you're at a massive advantage. So we're going to go ahead, go for a shot here. We miss it. Another player drops in, his teammate. I'm going to go inside here and just hold this spot right here. I'm just wait for them to come through the door. Now, I probably should reload my shotgun right now. I thought they were going to follow me right away. Okay, now we need to reload. My wife, unfortunately, gets in a close range fight right there. Takes a lot of risk and goes down. And I'm just going to play stealth for a second. Land those shots, play this cover. I know that my enemy does not have a shotgun. Now this is when it's okay to get close range, okay? He does not have a shotgun. As far as I can tell, I highly doubt he does. I can get close range and just land good shots right there. And that's actually really important because look how many shots I have in my shotgun here. How many shells I have. I got 2. So hugely important to land these 2 good shots right here. So 68, and then we take a second and just line up this next shot for 160 total. Very important. If I didn't land that second shot, this would have been a very awkward fight. I would have had to run for this chest, run outside, but basically I needed ammo or a gun to continue to fight that guy. That guy probably be stuck on a reload too. It would just be awkward. So better to hit the shot. I know that he doesn't have a close range shotgun. Much safer to just take the time, land the shot, don't scramble. Okay, so Yuki Bear paid the price for getting in a close range fight. I tried to maintain distance as much as I could. So if this player had shotguns, you know, I'm at like more of a medium range. They'd have to land a really, really good shot on me. If they have a frenzy shotgun, it's gonna be doing like 30 or 40 per shot, and I have cover to my left. Now, I'm just trying to hit some good shots right now because he's not looking at me. So that is a key to this. If someone's not looking at you, sure, get within close range and take a really nice heavy shot on them, and then try to back up a little bit. You can see I'm backing up into cover here as the next player comes in. And then, yeah, again, we realize that they don't have a shotgun as soon as they started shooting us. Here's the next example here. We're gonna go ahead and get some juice, some skulls on our feet. We see footsteps behind us, so we're going to go for high ground. Now, this is a very important thing that I see a lot of people also missing out on is not using verticality to their advantage. Anytime you've got people in close range, you want to be on the high ground, right? Especially if it's 2 stories. If you can get 2 stories above them, they can't just jump up and shoot you. They've got to climb up to you. And anytime that they're stuck down on the ground trying to figure out how to climb up to you is time that you can be putting damage on them. So I'm going to go up here and immediately turn around and look for this player. Look how easy this fight just became. If I would have stayed down here and tried to play cover over here, this is an ugly fight probably. This player is going to get very close range on me. They might hit me for 100 plus damage. I might win the fight, and then I'll probably get third party. So this is another lesson on this. Keep the medium range, right? We're playing this little head glitch here. Very hard for them to fight me. It doesn't seem like they even know where I am right now. And look at that. We get like a free 180 damage, and now the fight's easy. Turns out this person had way more health than I did. They had 100 more health than I do. So I'm very glad I played distance here and took a smart fight, right? Medium range before we deal that 100 damage. Now look, I dealt over 100 and then I kind of get a little too close. I probably could have backed up a little bit, but I just wanted to finish this thing. Didn't finish it. She's very low right now. And we swap to the SMG and finish it off. Okay, so that is just taking a smart engagement, not getting too close, not taking too much risk. So we'll go ahead and loot up here, just trying to move as fast as possible. On your drops, guys, you want to get full shields as quickly as possible, and you want to get a shotgun. Those are like the 2 things you want to check off. So we're going to go over here to this barrel room. I'm going to wait for my wife to get in here. Taking her a bit, but that's okay. Hit these barrels and get more HP, right? So that's 60 right off the bat. So that's pretty good. Feeling a lot safer now, a lot more healthy. Put some damage on somebody flying in here. Try to kind of keep them out of our zone. Now, I think that is the teammate of the person I just knocked, right? So I'm like fairly confident that we have this POI to ourselves. And the reason I know that is because I'm counting gliders as I flew in. So you see how many gliders? This is very important also. When you come into a POI, when you're flying in, try to count the gliders if you can. When there's a low amount of them, you can count them. Now, if there's like 20 and the whole thing's just filled, then you're like, okay, we're in a very dangerous situation. We need to play slow. You don't want to play fast in zones like that when there's like 16 people in your drop, right? You want to play slow. So this tells you a lot, right? I see 4 gliders here, and that is why after I knock this player and we get Yuki Bear up, you know, we do a little bit of looting, and then I go straight for this barrel room and I just try to get some shields on me. Because what I want to do is I want to get a little bit of shields on me and then start this engagement right away, because I know there's not very many people in this area right now. So I can go ahead and start this boss fight. So, right, we apply some pressure to this player, try to let them know, hey, I know that you're coming in, and then we're just going to go straight for the engagement. Because we have enough shields, and we have a shotgun, we have a decent loot, and we just want to kill the boss, get the medallion as quickly as possible, because we know right now we're not very contested. So my wife calls out that people are coming up behind us. These turn out to be AI, I believe. But I'm still going to do this from close range or from medium range with some cover, because I don't want to take too much risk. Let me go ahead and look through their loot, grab that burst probably, because the Harbinger SMG is just bad. And then we're just going to continue to try to kill these wolves as fast as possible. Cerberus is up. I just saw a res go off. You see that right there? So you can always see the icon go off. It looks like that was that POI further out. So these players will be here in about 45 seconds to a minute, I would say. So we can expect us to get pushed. So right now, killing this boss very fast is really important, because we just know that there's other enemies coming in, right? If you got the POI to yourself, just try to kill the boss as quickly as possible, especially Grimgate, because everyone and their mother comes here trying to get this medallion. Everyone knows it's the best medallion in the game, so you got to get it and get it quick. All right, so now we've got some time. Now we can go back to looting and look at, what do you know? Players are here trying to third party, and if we would have taken 20 more seconds, 30 more seconds on that boss engagement, we would have been getting shot in the back by real players here. I got a full fizz, but I'm trying not to give away my location. Now I decided I'm just going to go ahead and hit it, get some on Yuki Bear as well. We're just full health. Okay, now we're going into this fight healthy. And I'm going to try to keep medium range here. Now notice I'm using Fizz to my advantage to stay fast moving medium range. I'm looking for these players. Don't know where the other one went, which is weird, but I see this guy flying in. That's easy damage. Okay. Staying medium range. Notice that I didn't just stand my ground and take a close range fight. We deal the 100 damage or 80 damage. We come in fairly close for a good shot, and then we try to break his camera and get behind him and try to get some distance. I go for another shot, and then I get more distance. I back up again. And this is where dashes really help with dealing that close range damage when they don't have eyes on you, and then backing out to medium range immediately. Super important. He hits me with a pretty nasty shot here. I think it's like 70 something damage, which I'm actually very surprised that he was even to get anything on me there. Yeah, he got me for like 74 damage or something, which is crazy. But you know, it's good that we didn't take too close of a fight, because if I take a lot of damage right here, then this other enemy can come in and just finish me up easy, but I'm still healthy. Got 170 because I didn't get in a close range fight. And then it's just easy cleanup on the next player. I just want to note, yes, I did get close at certain times, and that's okay. You can get close to enemies as long as it's low risk, right? I'm dashing past them. I'm flying behind him right here, breaking his camera. Very good tracking by this player, by the way. He's like swings around, knows exactly where I'm going. And then we dash away again to avoid that close range shot now that he's looking at us, right? So dashes are really helpful for this stuff. So are bananas, so are fizz. Anything that allows you to move out of that close range fairly quickly. Any kind of movement like that can really help. All right, so we're just gonna go ahead and get healthy. We're all good to go. We're just continuing to loot a little bit. We've got a pretty good loadout here. Now, anyone that doesn't know how to infinite dash on water, I was gonna make a tutorial on this. I'm not sure if the green water is gonna stay. If it does, the way that you do this, guys, is you have to enter a sprint jump as you leave your feet right here, right? You at the edge, you sprint, jump, and then as you come down, you're going to flip your camera up about 45 to about 60 degrees, somewhere around there. And as your feet enter the water, actually touch the water, like go into the water just a little bit. Don't do it too early. It's better to go late than early on this. As your feet enter the water, they just dip in, you dash again while looking upwards. So you can see I actually dashed up like, I'm almost looking 90 degrees. So it's actually higher than that. It's like 70 or 80 degrees really what you're looking up for, because you're going to try to get more height to get you into the air and be able to dash again and keep doing the same thing. And I'm not great at it, but you know, like I can do it about 60% of the time or so when I'm trying to do it. Some people can do it 100% of the time, but that's the key, is basically as your toes dip into the water, you look up and you dash again. But your feet have to enter the water. You have to be holding forward the whole time. Your sprint bar should be decreasing the entire time, and your hands should be waving every other jump. See, they don't, and then they do, they don't, and then they do. So that's when you know you're doing it right. So we hear gunshots going on over here. I saw some people on the roof. I'm just taking some shots at them. At least I thought I saw some on the roof. I can see loot down over here.
Do they see you?
Someone just took a zip. So I know there's danger in the area. 2 players in this house, and I'm just kind of waiting out to see if they'll make the first move, right? I don't really want to get damaged if I don't have to right at the start, because if you can land a free 100 damage to start on any player, you have a massive advantage. They're now in panic mode. They're usually going to run. You can hunt them down, knock them, and then move on to the other teammate. Just sitting. Finally, someone comes out. And there we go. We deal our free 100 damage. And now the fight becomes very easy. I get up here and I put myself in close range because I just want to finish this player quickly. And look, she's going for a high risk play with a sniper. This could be dangerous for me, but like that's what people do, right? They either fight or flight. And if they fight, they're going to do like something stupid, like pull out a sniper, which isn't going to work 90% of the time. Or they're just going to run for their life. And as long as you stay on them closely, you're going to be able to kill them. So she makes that fairly easy for me. And now we just have to find the other player. And look, they go into flight mode. Panic, literally flight mode, which those are the wings of death. Never use wings in close range combat. You're just going to die. And then we come in because we got a free 100 damage, right? That free opening 100 damage right here made all the difference in this fight. If I took 100 damage in the beginning of this fight, it would be very different and we wouldn't be ready for the next fight because I know there's enemies up there. See, I'm marking that. I knew that I saw people go up the zip. So I marked that for my wife, letting her know, hey, there's probably somebody up there. And we just kind of looking around. Okay, now we start getting hit. And I get onto the roof immediately. So I already had this in mind. I've talked about this before. Always have a backup plan in mind. If you get shot, where are you going to go? High ground with this cover here. Now I'm checking the bridge because I don't want to get hit from height first, right? I don't want to make sure I'm covered here if I start shooting at these players. Now these are probably NPCs or AI here, just the way they're acting. But the way they lit me up did not feel like bots. It was a little bit confusing. And I was like, wait. So I'm still actually kind of convinced that there might be real players nearby because of the way that I got hurt so quickly. But yeah, I think, yeah, there's footsteps right here. So just saw a pair of footsteps just for a moment. And they're like stuck in the corner. Okay, now we're getting shot by another bot. Yeah, so apparently the bots just let me up and it was all bots the whole time. But yeah, we're moving on. Okay, so now we moved up here and we're getting water bended. No surprise. Everyone loves water bending. And we're going to get some heals on us, and I'm going for a shock play. So I'm trying to get some health. I know that I've got a burst here, shockwave, so I can get from height. They think they have an advantage right here. This is kind of a bait, right? I'm trying to bait them over to this edge, get some fizz on me so I can fly high up in the air, and then start shockwaving, SMGing these players. Because that's how you turn a fight around when you're on low ground, get to high ground, and preferably get them right at the edge where it's very easy to hit them. Once you're in the air, and just start dealing damage. So boom, we just landed like 200 damage on that player. So yeah, that's go time. We're up here, we're looking for that player. We don't land the hits we need on him. This is actually the other player now. So notice we're playing this tree very, very tight because we realize that this is not the same player we shot earlier. We're gonna play this cover really tight. They're fighting us, so we don't want to take much damage here. We dash in for the finish once we get him over 100, and then my wife cleans up the other player. Very, very easy fight because we used, one, baiting and medium distance. We never got close. We never took massive damage because we didn't take that close range fight that we were talking about. We don't jump up in people's faces and go for the shotgun fight. When I was down here, right, when I'm flow bearing right here, a lot of people would just dash up this hill with flow and dashes and just dash up onto this cliff and go for that medium or that close range fight, and they're probably going to die because as they come up the thing, they're going to get hit for around 50, 60, and then the teammates watching them, they're going to get a ton of damage while they fight the first player, and then they're going to die to the second player, and then your teammate's going to come in and try to finish the fight, and they'll probably die as well. It's all very 50-50. But with this fight right here, turns out very easy because we just keep space, keep distance the whole time, and honestly, I don't think they hit me. Maybe they hit me with a little bit of damage, but pretty much nothing the whole time. Just kept medium range. All right, moving on. We go to this gas station. I'm going to buy some shockwaves here. This dummy sells shockwaves, and a car is pulling up. Immediately get inside. Reslot my inventory. I would always recommend doing this. If you have specific slots that you put things in, just take a moment, reslot it because it will get you killed when you really need it. Reslot your stuff, get it in the right position. So muscle memory can just do its thing. All right, so we're going to play high ground here, take some jump shots. And again, we're going to stay medium distance. We're going for that height. Try to land some free damage, and then we back out. Notice we don't go in because there's two players right there standing right next to each other. If I go in to try to finish this kill right here, I am going to get massive damage on me from the other player. If I jump in here, it doesn't matter how good my aim is. The other player is going to hit me, and the player I'm shooting is probably going to hit me. So I'll take a minimum of 100 damage. So instead, we just back out, find some new cover, work a new angle, right? They don't really expect this type of stuff. They don't expect you to back up, get distance, and keep chipping. There we go. Now we got a massive damage. All we got to do is finish this player. We come in, and we land another free 100 damage on this player, and this fight is now just looking very easy. 100 on that player. All I wanted to do was finish this one so that I'm in a 1v1 and not a 2v1, but we get a free 100 on that player too. That's great. And now the water bending is scaring me because water bending is very dangerous, and also look at what it's doing to my screen as she is hitting me. Look how hard it is to see this enemy as they're hitting me. Like in fast motion, it's actually very hard to see this player. My shield's breaking. There's like all kinds of stuff on my screen. At this point, I'm not feeling confident. I want my teammate to get in here. I'm going to go for a camera break move right here. Jump over the head and go for a shot, and my shotgun is not loaded, and that's why I'm in big trouble here. Now, the reason I don't pull out my water bending, which a lot of you are probably saying, pull out your water bending and fight this, the water bending takes about a full second to pull out. Just FYI. So like it does like an animation where it goes and then you start shooting it, and by that time I'd probably be dead. So instead I go for movement and just try to break the camera, go for a different angle. Don't just sit there and just take damage. So water bending is busted. We all know it. And if they're targeting you, you got to get out of their line of sight. You got to get out of their reticle, right? You do not want to be fighting someone who's water bending you if you're just standing still. You got to get really, really heavy on the movement. Try to break their camera if you can, get a new angle, force them to relocate you. All right, now we got third partied by another player. And notice that when we healed up here, we're moving. We're healing together. We're trying to heal as quick as possible. There's a lot of gunshots. We should be moving a little bit faster right here. And I should also be more heads up, like looking above us. So it should have been expected to get third partied at this point. Now we have water bending. 72 on this player. Look what we did. We don't have 100 damage yet. We have 72. And also, just to keep this in mind, guys, in Zero Build, when you have overshields, your overshield recharges over time for 50. So if you hit someone for like, say, 50 damage or 70 damage, and then you give them 10 seconds, you now hit them for 20 damage or 0 damage because their overshield has recharged, and now you do not have the damage that you had before. So you want to get in quick and keep that damage on them, keep the pressure on them so their shield doesn't come back up. Now look, I go for like a medium range shot here. I only hit him for 27, then I back up again. And I'm playing completely medium range. Notice the distance that I'm choosing this fight right now. This is so that I can maintain a health advantage. I know that I opened up with 70. He did not return 70 on me on the opening. So I basically have 70 up minimum here. And now I'm probably going to go for, have more of a health advantage because I stay medium. And he might have the wrong gun out, like a shotgun, like he does. He does hit me actually really nice. But I didn't take too much risk. If I got closer, he could have hit me for like 120 or 100 plus, right? Right here, he hits me for about, I'm at 99 shields. He takes me down to 41. So he hits me about 60, and it's not a big deal, right? We're still 70 up in the fight, and that pays off. That should illustrate why it's so important to not take close range fights. If I get close right there, that 60 damage now turns into 100 or 120 damage, and I die. Because the other player comes in, finishes me, or the storm takes me, whatever, right? It becomes a very different situation. So we're just going to get our distance. We're going to get all the way out. We're going to start putting pressure out because we don't want to just turn and run and take damage.
Wanna get in?
She asks if I want to get in, and I'm actually thinking, okay, there's no danger right now. The last thing they'd really expect is for me to push in. Like, I know that they're going to go for a res, so we'll just take our second, get some health in us, right? Play this safe, and then just go in. They have a bot, so they're definitely rezzing this player, but if we knock that player immediately, it's not a big deal because they don't have enough time to heal. So I'm looking for the other player. I just saw a scope go off in the bush. Trying to do some damage here. Okay, and we're thinking we need to put damage on this player immediately before they start to heal. Boom, it's over, and then we go for medium range again, trying not to get too close. Notice that I could just sit here and turn to this other player and start taking this fight. Instead, I run forward, get a little distance. I don't want to be super close. Looks like they have a frenzy shotgun, so I do not want to be this close. This is bad. I dash away. Get a new angle, get off the screen, break their camera. I call it breaking the camera. When you get off the screen, disappear. Makes it very hard for them to track you. They have to reacquire you, figure out where you went anytime you're in close range. And now these dashes are obviously very, very good for that. But this is also why you should enter fights with like Flowberry Fizz on you or a banana or any kind of movement modification that you can do. That allows you to get to that medium range again very quickly. You can jump, sprint over their head, sprint jump over their head, to the side, whatever it is. Try to get that medium range so that you're not taking the chimp fight. Chimp fight, in my mind, is that close range 50-50 fight where you're just trading damage. You're gonna take massive damage yourself, but you're just trying to deal more. You might be throwing a little bit of movement in there, but nothing enough to like break their camera and give yourself a huge advantage. It's really like who has the better internet, who has the better accuracy, who has the better movement. Let's find out. That's a chimp fight. That's very much an ego challenge, and a lot of people take these fights. Even when they think they don't, they still do. That's why if you take these fights, you want to do it at medium range where you have options. If the fight goes wrong, you can dash out or you can shockwave out. You're not going to take a massive amount of damage all at once and just lose the fight before you can do anything. All right, so we pull up here and we find a bunch of bots out here in the field just chilling. So we go ahead and finish that up, kill those bots. My wife actually falls off the cliff. I think I parked too close to the edge. This is pretty funny, actually.
Oh no.
Oh no. I parked her right on the edge. She got out of the car and just fell. So if you want to troll your friends, that's a good move. Park the passenger on the edge of the bridge. All right, we push up over here, and again, more bots, I believe. I wish that they would take bots out of pub lobbies, or at least reduce them. I'm fine with 2-minute queues if we don't get bots. Practice not being an idiot on these guys as well. Don't get super close. I know a lot of people, this is like a good example, right? These moments here, don't get close range, don't do the stupid thing and take the chimp fight, play medium range. At least, like, yeah, you can be a little more out in the open, a little more loose, but don't get super close range to these players. They will light you up. Every once in a while, they'll just burst you for like 100 to 200 damage sometimes. So just play medium distance. and don't get too close, because it can be actually very dangerous to get close to bots. You know, it's good habits to build to just stay at medium range. All right, so now we're just, I see somebody at Reckless, because I can see there's a medallion on the screen here. We're gonna go ahead and send it and just look for some free tags. Okay, we get 24, 24, 24, so 72. Now we got about 100 on this player. And look, I'm not going to go back up there. I'm going to get some distance. What does this player want to do? This player wants to land 100 damage to me immediately, hope that I miss a shot, and then land another 100 damage to me and turn the fight around, because that can definitely happen. But I'm not going to let that happen. I'm going to stay medium range, because now I'm at a massive health advantage, and all I have to do is keep my range and hit some shots. It's very easy. Keep range, hit shots. Cool. We finish that player off. Go ahead and get in here for some cover. Now I think that this player is coming around this corner right here. They are not. And this is a big uh-oh in my mind. Like, uh-oh, I read this wrong. I realize that he's above me. He gets the 100 damage on me now, and he's in a massive advantage. So what we got to do here is get out of that range. I don't want to get medium range, and I go for a camera break. I was trying to climb this balcony right here, this little like overhang. I could climb up on that and then take another jump and try to get over his head or over their head so that they can't hit me as easily. Unfortunately, we end up in a chimp fight here. We got to take the 50-50 and just hit better shots. Now, luckily, we have the mythic shotgun. You just kind of like got to line up the shot. When you're chimp fighting, just hit your shots. You got to focus on hitting more damage. Don't try to do too much movement, because honestly, if you try to move and like slide and do all this crazy stuff, don't do that too much, because when you're this close to somebody, when you're like almost touching faces, a lot of times just throw in a crouch shot maybe so they shoot over your head. But other than that, like, I would not try to enter a slide, because you're going to take damage as you're trying to enter that slide. Sprint, slide, they're going to hit you with a shotgun shot, and then they're going to hit you with another shotgun shot as soon as you start sliding by the time you're landing your first. So it just gives them free damage. It's better to just land damage when you're this close to somebody and just hope for the best, especially if a teammate, right? Teammate can come in and finish things up. Now, my wife did some damage to that player, thankfully, and I was able to just win the dumb fight. But that was a very dangerous fight, and it was a misread on my part, getting a little too aggressive. I thought the player was around the corner, but they're on the roof. Looking for the last two players, just cruising around. And these are definitely bots. So we go for a little no scope. With no scopes, guys, all you want to do, if you're in the air, do not be pressing any direction. When you press any direction when you're in the air using a weapon, it actually increases your bloom. So jump up in the air, fly forward, and then let go of your movement key, and then just aim the reticle on them and pull the trigger, and boom, we hit them for a nice headshot right there. Pretty sweet. And obviously when you're a sniper, the closer you are to the player, the higher chance of actually hitting them, which is why I did this. I knew it was a bot. I was just playing around. Hit a nice little no scope for the finish. Give him the bow, you know, pay our respects to the AI. But yeah, I hope this video was helpful. I know it's end of season, just trying to give you some tips before we go to the next season. I guarantee this stuff is going to hold true across all seasons. Medium range is always going to be your friend. I promise you that. Get yourself a medium range weapon that hits fairly good at medium range, and don't get into those stupid shotgun fights where you're touching faces. In next season, if we have shotguns that don't deal good medium range damage, that's actually a very good thing, because now you got to be getting in that medium range, making your opponents use shotguns when they shouldn't be, right? They're trying to land damage on you with shotguns, but you're out of their range and they're only hitting you for like 30 or 40, and you're using, say, an SMG and hitting them for like 200 damage in a series of a second when they're only hitting you for like 50 or 60 within that same second. Does that make sense? So medium range is your friend. Only get close range when you have a massive advantage, and even then it's dangerous to do. Try to make your moves quick, try to finish it off quick. Don't take too much risk in your fights, and I promise you will have a lot more success in your combat and winning more games. Now, if you like these in-depth breakdowns, go check out my must-watch playlist on my YouTube channel. It's right at the top of the page. As soon as you get to my YouTube channel, I promise you will not regret it. You will get a ton of value out of those videos. And if you want to support me and my family, please use creator code Toby1Shinobi in your Fortnite item shop. If you like this video, if you found it helpful, leave a like on it as well. It really helps me out. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching the video. Have yourself a great day. Shinobi out.